All right, so I did a couple of videos about the Deontay Wilder Mallet Scott controversial knockout, and some people in the comment section got the impression that I was somehow dissing Dwyer with my comments that I made in those videos, saying that I don't understand how anyone could see that it was not a dive by Mallet Scott. Well, I just want to set the record straight. I was definitely not referring to Dwyer. I definitely wasn't directing it towards him. I hadn't watched anyone's video when I made those two videos. I was directing my comment towards the people who had commented on my first video, and I was directing a lot of the comments towards people on Facebook who I've been debating with back and forth endlessly. So that was who I was aiming the comments at. Pretty much, when I made the first video and the second video as well. So definitely wasn't a diss at Dwyer. I've subsequently seen the Dwyer video. I totally disagree with him. By the end of the day, Dwyer is an inspiration to me in terms of the way I analyze fights and stuff like that. My videos and my analytical skills when it comes to boxing, I've always been good, I feel, but I wasn't articulating myself as well when I first came onto YouTube back in 2009, 2010. I wasn't articulating myself as well as I do now. I was just sounding like a street kid, right? And I do still sound like that most of the time away from the microphone, but when I watch Dwyer's videos and how professional he is able to appeal to a wider audience. Right, I'm from South London. I don't just want to appeal to black people from South London when I make these boxing videos, because boxing is universal. I need to be able to appeal to white people from Germany or brown people from South America, people from Africa, people from Japan. I need to be able to appeal to everyone on my boxing channel. That's what I want it to be about. I don't want it to just be for a certain tiny little demographic. And watching Dwyer's videos, the way he uses metaphors and the way he constructs his breakdowns and arguments and stuff like that is a big inspiration to me. And I've taken a lot of things that Dwyer does and tried to implement them in my own videos. I'm definitely not as good as him. He's definitely the king, the lord of the YTBC. He's literally, as far as I'm concerned, the best boxing analyst on YouTube. Yeah, and I say that with the greatest respect for everyone else, but he's definitely better than me. So, yeah, definitely not a diss at Dwyer, right? I hold his channel in the highest regard. Obviously, I'm going to disagree with him here and there, and I definitely disagree with him over the Mallet Scott, Deontay Wilder situation. And I just want to address one of the things that Dwyer said in his video, or he pointed people to certain pictures on a particular website, which apparently show that the punches were legit and they definitely were thrown with enough force to knock Mallet Scott out. Well, those pictures that they had on that website, they had a GIF on the picture, which is a blurry GIF, which shows the punch apparently landing on Mallet Scott's forehead after it hits the glove. I mean, those pictures are worse than the actual Showtime footage itself, because from a certain angle, the punch looks like it lands. Okay, I mean, what's the point in just looking at a knockout from a certain angle and saying, "Oh, look, it did land. It landed very well." I mean, you can make a midget look tall if you photograph him from a certain angle, right? So I don't really say much. The best view of the knockout is the Showtime video, which is up on YouTube, which everyone's been watching, because it's crystal clear. You see the knockout from several different angles in slow motion. If you want to see it bigger, you can, zoom in with your browser on Google Chrome or Internet Explorer. Just use the zoom function. You can zoom right in and see it perfectly clear in HD, which I've done. And I maintain what I said before, and it seems that most people agree with me. That was a dive. There is no way that guy was hurt. I'm not convinced at all. The guy took a dive. I don't know whether he did it because he just don't have much heart and he just used it as an excuse to get out of the fight because he probably felt like he was going to get knocked out anyway. I know I did watch subsequently. I've also watched Blood Boxing's video on it, and he believes basically that Mallet Scott just was looking for an easy way out, that he could have got up, but he said, you know what, let me just stay down and just act like I'm more hurt than I really am. And that's feasible. That's feasible to me. But the idea that he was genuinely incapacitated on the canvas from those shots, the way he went down, he wasn't knocked to the canvas. He sat down on the canvas of his own accord after he got hit with those grazing shots. The right hand hit him on the glove. Most of the force was taken on the glove. And then as Wilder followed through, it might have grazed him on the forehead. And the left hook was, I mean, he didn't even react to the left hook because it was a slap. And Wilder's never knocked anyone out, as far as I know. And I've watched most of his fights with a left hook. Certainly never knocked out any of his recent opponents with a left hook. He's a right hand man. So I'm 100% convinced that Mallet Scott went down to the canvas pretty much of his own accord. Yeah, so that's just my position on it. I definitely disagree with Dwyer, but that don't mean there's a beef or anything like that. Like I said, I hadn't even seen Dwyer's video when I made my videos. And, you know, disagreeing with someone, who cares? I've disagreed with Dwyer about loads of stuff. It doesn't matter. It's just boxing. This is just a hobby to me. I don't come on the internet to try and diss other channels and stuff like that. I don't get involved in that because to me, it's not important enough. It's just a hobby talking about boxing. I don't take it so serious to the point where I'm going to have a personal beef over someone because they disagree with me about a boxing match. That's ridiculous to me. And that's why you never see me getting involved in YouTube beefs. Because to me, it's just not, it's not important enough, man. You get me? It's just a hobby. So yeah, that's just my stance on it. So yeah, that'll pretty much put the issue to bed. Dwyer is, as far as I'm concerned, an inspiration to me, and he's made me up my game in terms of being a boxing analyst. So it's definitely no issue with Dwyer, man. So yeah, just wanted to clear that up. This is Hatman, I'm out.